How's it going?
Okay.
It's
going okay.
it's tough, right? While we're recording this, the next day, our only daughter turns 5.
I know.
And you celebrate your 42nd year.
I know.
And it's tough. So I thought for today's episode, this week's episode, episode 14, we could employ Reddit's help again. So there's a thing on Reddit about the harshest truths you've learned in your life. Kind of like life lessons, but just harsh ones. So I wanted to share some of them with you, and then we could discuss them, is what I thought.
Okay.
Does that sound like a dumb idea?
No, that sounds good.
All right. And then maybe like if you have a life lesson or two, or I do, we could talk about them as well.
Okay, I have a couple.
Okay.
But I don't have everything figured out for myself yet either, so.
Well, that's the thing, though, is nobody does, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this today, just a little side thing, and this is probably very obvious, but I was thinking about how life is kind of like playing a board game without reading the rules.
Yeah, you just kind of have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And even if like you do have other people in your life who are older than you that can pass down wisdom, sometimes it doesn't apply.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you have completely different experiences. And
yeah, that's
those
why
can be
like
scary.
Yeah, it is scary.
I found that life is pretty scary, but I'd rather do it on my own terms than, have somebody tell me.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
So I have a life lesson, and then I had to kind of look one up that I keep a whole note on my phone is life rules.
Do you want to do yours first?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Let's read this, and then I'll share one of those.
Okay. So the harsh truth is when someone dies, you never see them again.
Oh.
And this person wrote, when someone dies, you are never seeing them again. The day my partner died, I fell into my bed at night and cried my absolute heart out, knowing I would never hear her voice again, and it destroyed me. My bedroom was so quiet, dull, and hollow, and I just felt hopeless. That was 6 years ago, and I can vividly remember my surroundings and feelings from that moment.
Oh,
That's a tough one.
that's a sad one.
But it's true. Like, it's really hard. Even, my dad passed away in 2011.
Yeah.
And it's really hard sometimes when I remember, I can't talk to him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, it's not like we were really super close and I talked to him all the time. We had periods of estrangement and we also had periods of like closeness, right?
Yeah.
But he was my dad.
Right.
And he did offer me support and comfort.
Mm-hmm.
Just talking to him would be comforting.
Yeah.
And I can't do that anymore. I can never like clap him on the shoulder and say, how's it going, old man, ever again. Right.
Yeah.
It's tough. I was worried about that the other day. I was thinking about like, I'm currently not like in a good place with my relationship with my mom. Right. Which is mostly my own fault, but she takes some blame in that too, I think. But we're not talking. And I was thinking, I don't know. I think I've been thinking about death a lot lately. She's not going to live forever, right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be a day. There's going to come a day when I get a phone call and she's gone, right? And that's going to be a sad day. Okay. The next one. Do you have any input on that one, on the death one?
No, not really. I mean, I've lost my fur babies and stuff to death, but
Yeah.
I haven't had a whole lot of death surround me in my life.
Yeah.
I was really little when my grandpa passed away, but I don't remember it at all.
Right.
And then I'm estranged from my parents.
Yeah.
So I didn't know when my grandma passed away. So, I mean, I kind of have protected myself from all that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think protecting yourself from death is good.
It's too final and it's too scary for me to think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a hard time thinking about it.
Yeah. Because you don't get to see that person again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next one is life moves really fast. I think that's kind of, almost cliche at this point, but life goes fast.
Ferris Bueller taught us that. If you don't stop to look around every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Ferris Bueller did teach us. Life goes fast, like super fast after you turn 24. My stepdad told me I'd blink and be 40. Well, I blinked and being 40 sucks.
Yeah. So I have a saying, and it's the days are long, but the months fly by.
Yeah.
And then the years fly even faster.
I have noticed as I get older, time seems to move faster.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's just a perception.
It is a perception because when you're a kid, you want it to move as fast as humanly possible.
So it drags.
So it drags on forever. It's like the last 2 weeks before Christmas.
Right.
It drags on forever. But when you're older, you don't want time to go by fast. You want it to slow down.
Yeah.
And it won't. And it's just so.
Well, what you do there is you just get yourself a dead-end job.
I guess so.
You become a clock watcher. You're like, God damn.
You get yourself a toddler, and then every day is like 24 years.
You get to work,
And
you
then-
start doing something, and then you look up and go, how is it not 10? Yeah. Life does move really fast. That's kind of like the death one, right? It's,
Yeah.
You don't know. Tomorrow's not promised, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I could figure out not how to slow time, but how to make better use of it, right? Because it's kind of a currency you never get more of,
Yeah.
right? Once it's spent, you can't really replace it.
Yeah. I think for me, the purpose of it is to just be present, like to be in those moments and just appreciate for what they are,
Yeah.
which is hard to do.
Oh, it's super hard. I try doing that, but then I get caught up,
Yeah.
I get caught up. Here's one this has been a lesson that I've been trying to come to terms with. Your hard work will not always be recognized. Being the hardest worker will not always equate to you being the one rewarded or recognized for your accomplishments.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's been really rough for me in my career because there's been a lot of times where I've put in an enormous amount of effort and time and passion and work into something that is either completely ignored
Yeah.
or credit is taken by someone else, either purposefully or inadvertently, right?
Yeah.
And that it just like, fuck. Like, when you
Yeah.
put a lot of effort into something, it's really hard to then, not get the credit for that.
Yeah.
And to be clear, I don't think I deserve praise or popularity
No, but
or any of
we
that
all
stuff.
strive for those
Right.
attaboys or attagirls. We all strive for those.
Right.
And it's just human nature to want to be proud of your work
Yeah.
and want somebody else to. The problem is that we also want someone else to acknowledge that when really we should just be thankful and accept our own praise and our own attagirls and our attaboys. We need to say that was a good job that I did and then leave it at that.
Yeah.
Like, why isn't my word saying that I'm proud of myself enough? Why do I need someone else to say that I did a good job?
yeah.
I think it's human nature.
Yeah, but I think it's way worse for me. Like, this is the kind of child I was, right?
Right, exactly.
I would go clean my room or rearrange it or do something with it. And then I'd be like, Mom, Dad, you got to come see what I did. And then I'd give them a little mini tour and be like, huh?
Well, you're a showman.
I guess, but it's also like,
Also wanting a kid wanting attention.
yeah, I guess. I just feel like it's way worse for me because of that, right? Because I'm constantly seeking approval.
Yeah.
And even, 20 years into my career, I'm still seeking approval, right? Like I guess it's like an endorphin rush or something. I don't know. But like even, I'm working on a freelance project right now and I'm like, hey, come and look at this and tell me if it's good. Like,
It is good, by the way.
well, but why do I need to ask you to tell me that?
I'm telling you right now, it's a human thing.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
think everybody does that? It's not just me?
no, it's everybody does that. Everybody wants, like, when the boys show you a drawing or something, that's what they're looking for too. Or like when I show you a photograph that I've taken and stuff, that's what we all want.
Yeah, you said the other day that the goal now is to make me tear up because I did
Well,
that.
because, I just threw something together and you're like, it's beautiful.
It is. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful picture. You guys should go check it out. It's on her Instagram at Dharma Frog, and it's the one where she superimposed a goat over her face, and it's just amazing.
You're silly. What's the next one?
This is another one that's hard for me. You can't control other people's emotions. Loving someone unconditionally and being willing to do anything for them doesn't mean they feel the same way about you.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's a tough one, right? That's a hard pill to swallow.
I've done that a lot in my life where I expect other people to give me what I give them, and
Right.
it's never works out.
Yeah.
Not ever.
Right. Yeah, because other people aren't thinking about you in the same way that you're thinking about them, right?
Which is really, it's a hard truth to swallow, because no answer is an answer. A no thank you is an answer.
Yeah.
And so you can't really make people care as much as you do.
No, I have a real problem with that. This one's more like romantic love, I read it as, but I feel
It could
like
be
even
for
in just
anything.
my platonic friendships, I have a problem of falling harder than the other person usually.
Yeah.
Right. And so I end up caring more about the relationship than the other person cares.
Mm-hmm.
And then I find myself being hurt or emotionally like dinged.
Smacked a little.
Yeah. Because I put a lot of, I think about people a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think about people who probably don't give me 1 second of thought
Mm-hmm.
at all, wondering how they're doing, worried about if things are going the way they need them to go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't want anybody ever to feel hurt or sadness.
Mm-hmm.
It really wrecks me. When I see a random stranger on the internet experiencing sadness, I'm like, no, how can I fix that? Right? Like it's
Yeah.
bad. But like even with coworkers,
Yeah.
right? Like I will become more attached to those coworkers than they are to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is like one of the lessons that I've had to learn the hard way, is that your coworkers aren't your friends, right?
Yeah.
Like they're friendly,
Right.
right? And they're courteous and polite, and they probably don't want you to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, they're not hanging out with you after work, and you're not hanging out with them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it's not like everyone's out to get you.
Right.
It's just there for themselves
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. And it's tough for me because you spend so much time with those people. And so I'm like, oh, I like you, so we're friends. And then you find out they don't care.
Yeah.
Right. They don't want to be
That's-
your friend, actually.
It's hard to figure out. Like, even if you're related,
Yeah.
for me, being related to somebody means nothing.
It's not an
Really.
automatic. Yeah. It's not an automatic.
It's not an automatic you're in,
Yeah.
because, I'm a different kind of person,
You're
right?
built different.
I'm hard. I'm not easily liked.
Okay. Stop.
I'm not. Okay,
No,
but
that's
here's the
not-
thing.
No,
You
we're not
like
going
me.
to this.
You like me.
We're not going to this.
You like me.
No.
I get it.
You're a wonderful person, but you do have a wall, a barrier that people have to climb in order to really get to the you.
But it's taken me a long time to realize that
You've put that wall up.
that it's there, and
Yeah.
I expect people to climb it, and when they don't, I get pissy. That's on me.
Yeah. You're
That's
like, I'm not giving you a rope or a ladder.
Yeah, you're gonna have to work for it. But that's based on my own traumas and my own nonsense.
No,
and
that's
that's on
true.
me. But it's taken me a long time to realize that. And that, just because you're related or just because you work with somebody or whatever doesn't mean they owe you anything.
No, nobody owes you anything.
Yeah.
I feel very fortunate and lucky, though. I do want to end this piece with saying that I feel like you and I's love for one another is fairly equivalent, right? I don't feel like one or the other of us is
Okay.
more attached than the other, right? Like I think that we're both equally into one another. Do you don't feel the same way?
I feel the same way. I'm skeptical if you feel the same way. I thought at first you were bringing it up as a dig, and I was like,
No, I really honestly feel like as much as any two people could equally like one another.
It's hard for me because I feel everything. I feel it all. I just
Yeah.
can't communicate it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I understand it. But I also believe in my heart that even if you're mad at me or you're in a bad mood for some other reason and you're being short or cold or whatever that day, it's not because you've stopped loving me or you've moved on, right, from our
No.
relationship. It's just that I'm not the center of your world and you're not the center of mine, right? There's other things going on.
Right.
But I do feel like we orbit one another in a way. This one, I don't know if I agree with this one, but I thought it might be a good one to talk about. You should care more about your self-image, like how you see yourself, than how others see you.
I kind of agree with that because you have to live inside of you and you have to look at yourself in the mirror.
Right. And so this is what this person said. To me, what worked is that I stopped caring what people thought about me and I started to care what I thought of myself. Mm-hmm. The more that you care about what you think about yourself, the more likely you are to change what you dislike about yourself. It's essentially developing the right amount of ego, one that neither turns you narcissistic nor makes you hate yourself. Mm-hmm. Which is just balance, right? Like everything in life is a balance, right? You have to have balance, moderation, balance, right?
Yeah.
You can't just be like, I'm going to eat everything or I'm going to eat nothing, right? There has to be a kind of a balance.
Yeah.
You can't say, I'm going to love you or hate you,
Right.
right? There has to be, and just your feelings change from day to day, right? Like some days you love me more than anything in the world. And then some days you're getting closer to being pissed and hating me, right? No, I'm serious. Like you get angry. When you're angry, when you're mad at each other, you're moving more towards the hate side of the spectrum. What keeps us not hitting hate though is the love, right? It's balancing things out. So I don't know if I totally agree with it because how others see you does affect things, right? Like it's not like, oh, fuck what other people think about me, right? There are some things I feel that way, like the nail polish, where it's like, fuck it. If somebody else has a problem with that, fuck them.
Right.
That doesn't affect me. But some people's liking you or not liking you or what they see in you does affect you, like in an interview, right? Or
Right.
like at your job,
Yeah.
right? Your coworker either likes you or dislikes you. And that can affect your job. It can, especially if that person is your manager.
Right.
Like I've had bosses who adore me, but I've also had bosses who couldn't stand me,
Yeah.
right? And the jobs where the boss can't stand me don't work out,
Right.
right? And the jobs where they adore me still don't work out because I end up leaving. But do you get what I'm saying? Like somebody else's opinion of you does affect your life in some certain ways and in certain contexts.
Yeah.
So you do have to worry about it a little bit. There needs to be a lot of balancing there.
Yeah.
But you also do need self-love. You do need to say, you know what? This is as good as I am right now today. And all I can do is try to improve.
Right.
Right. I get caught up in self-degradation and like beating myself up about stuff I can't control or I can't control that day. I can't change that day. But I think a lot of people do that, right?
Yeah.
That's not unique to me.
No. I think that's a lot of people struggle with that.
But I try to be positive, right? Like I try to, when I start going down that trail, right? Unless it's something that is truth, right? But like saying I'm ugly,
Right.
that's not true.
No, it's not true.
I'm not like the most handsome man that's ever lived, but I got an 8.5 on Hot or Not. So I'm not doing too bad.
Okay. Okay. Right. Oh boy.
This one is called You're Not Perfect. But the real thing, the real harsh lesson or harsh truth is sometimes you are the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really hard for me. Like that's not, I didn't learn that, but it being put in that way, I'm like, shit.
In someone else's story, you are the bad guy.
What? Yeah.
But
Even in somebody else's story where you are just a partner like you and I, sometimes I'm the bad guy, sometimes you're the bad guy. And that's really tough pill for me to swallow because I generally consider myself like a lawful good person.
Yeah.
Right. I like to joke around that I'm chaotic neutral, but I'm not, right? Like I'm like followed the rules.
Yeah.
Right. What are the rules here? No problem. I'll follow them.
Yeah, which is dumb.
I
No,
break
but
rules sometimes.
I've had the same thing where I'm the bad guy in several people's stories.
Yeah.
And
Well, I don't think overall, though, that's to say you are the primary antagonist is not true. But to say that you've had bad experiences or bad encounters with somebody and then,
I've had a lot.
okay, this is getting, you have not.
I have. And that I'm being truthful and I'm being honest and I'm not beating myself up about it. But because I don't play the game and just and just go with other people's crazy, I, kind of push back on that. I become the bad guy. And I'm okay with that. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I am.
Okay.
I'm fine with it.
Right. But it also goes back to like, those people aren't thinking about you, right? Like, so
Yeah.
you've cast yourself as the bad guy, but then they've moved on, right? I'm not saying anybody
seemingly,
specific,
I have
right?
no idea.
I'm not saying anybody specific. I'm just saying like that's kind of a perception that you think, oh, I've ruined that relationship by being a shithead who doesn't follow the rules.
Mm-hmm. And cut them off.
But maybe they don't think that way, right? Maybe they think that, who knows? I don't know. Just sometimes I don't think, like it goes back to the thing about like you can't control other people's emotions, right? Like some people don't give you a second fucking thought,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. Like I've often reached out to somebody from my past and been like, hey, you want to have a discussion and be friends again? Sometimes they're like, oh yeah, hey, what's up? I remember you. And then other times it's like, okay, cool. What a weird thing out of the blue. I haven't thought about you in 27 years, right?
Jeez.
Do you know what I mean?
I guess.
So it's just like one of those, strange things.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, dear listener. I'm the kind of person that if we've ever had a friendship, as far as I'm concerned, unless you like
Tell you to F off.
slept with my ex-wife
Oh no.
or tried to stab me or some, mean thing, we're still friends. And in my mind, I still care about you and I still hope you're okay.
Yeah.
Right?
That is you.
Yeah.
That's you. That is
Look,
you.
I might not reach out and talk to you very often, but I love you. So things don't always go your way. Doing your best and giving it your all doesn't always mean things will turn out the way you want. Sometimes things just go bad. I feel like that's just another way to say
Yeah.
those other ones. Yeah. So I'm going to skip that one. Okay, here's another one. People aren't perfect. I think the more relationships you go through, the more you understand how flawed a human being is. You have to find someone who you can just put up with. I hate that. The concept of love at a young age is so beautiful. That's kind of cynical, right? Like I'm lucky. I'm a fortunate person because I feel like I have found somebody who I consider to be my soulmate, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm just going to continue living and being with you and being your partner as long as you'll have me. Right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like we do have true love there.
Yeah.
Right? But I've also been in relationships that were hollow and false.
Right. So maybe that's what they're talking about is
Yeah.
that you have to have a couple relationships, which really kind of is difficult because not everyone wants to go through that.
No, yeah, it's tough, right? It's especially tough when you, again, are the one who's like, oh, I think you're the bee's knees. And then they're like, yeah, it's 11:35, man. And you're like, oh, cool. All right. I guess we got to talk.
Uh-oh.
Right? Like, it's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right? Because that happens, right? People cheat on each other all of the time.
Yeah.
And they don't cheat on each other, because, well, I mean, I guess sometimes they want to cheat to hurt the other person.
Yeah, but again, that a cheating goes, you think it's because of the other person, but it's not. It's because of that person.
The person themselves, yeah,
Yes.
that's doing the cheating.
It doesn't matter why.
Yeah.
It's on them.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the other person. And that's hard to understand and hard to get your head wrapped around. But that other person doing that thing, it's all on them.
Yeah, I don't think my ex-wife cheating on me was because she was trying to get back at me or
Nope.
or hurt me in some way. It was because that's just the way she operated,
And how she was.
taught to
Yeah.
show love. And it's a bummer because it did hurt, right? I mean, I know now, 27 years later,
Yeah.
I know that it wasn't something that she did to like purposefully destroy me.
Yeah.
And it was also not a real relationship that we had, right? Like,
Yeah.
like we were married and we were in love, air quotes, but looking back, that was not love that we had. It was lust and convenience,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest, right? Convenience for her, lust for me, right? It wasn't a situation where I was like, oh, like I couldn't even see myself being with her as old people. Does that make sense?
Growing old with them.
Yeah, like like I can picture you and I sitting on a fucking porch, right? Like wrinkles out the wazoo, sipping tea, kind of hunched over.
I don't want to be hunched over.
I'm just trying to get the real age there.
Okay.
Like, just, you know what I mean? Like holding hands as we quietly pass away on the front porch. But I didn't see that. I couldn't see that with her. I couldn't even see like a year into the future with her, right?
Yeah. Well, that's a good reason not to go down that road.
Yeah, I tried not to, but it just happened, right? Like that's the thing is like sometimes stuff happens to you,
Yeah.
right? Even though for all intents and purposes, you should have control in those situations.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes life just happens to you and you're just like, okay, I guess I'm writing this out.
Yeah. And I think hopefully people are raised that, they have control over things like that.
Yeah.
You should always have control over things like that are important.
Yeah.
And that goes along with my life lesson that I have.
Okay, good. Because I don't know.
You don't have any other ones?
Well, there's this one too that I think might be okay. It's friends that fade away hurt the most. Dealing with this currently, friends since preschool and basically attached at the hip right up until we left school and went to a community college together. After we got jobs, he was harder to get into contact with. We would hang out on occasion, but I always reached out and never the other way around. He got distant and I asked if he was okay and did I do something wrong. He said it's all okay. Then one day he flat out ghosted me. Has new friends now from what I can see. Still not quite sure what happened, but I do not wish him ill and hope he is happy. Hope you're doing okay as well. I've had people ghost me. I've had friends drift away.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I would classify those as hurting more than, other losses of friendship, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We've moved around, you and I, as a family, have moved around a lot.
Yeah.
And each place I find somebody, usually one person, who I become friends with, right?
Yeah.
And I put a lot of effort and time into those people. But as soon as we move away, I'm like, whatever. Right? It's not that I'll never talk to them again. It's just that before like Facebook and the internet and social media, it literally was, if you move away, it's like, you're probably not going to see that person again. Sure, you can phone call them and that will last a few months, but eventually you'll both be too busy to keep connecting, right? And the reason you were connecting before is because you lived in the same damn town,
Right.
and you had interests, right? I've had several friends like that where I'm no longer friends with them, like hangout friends.
Yeah.
But we were really hangout friends, right? All through my life, I've had like one central person who was like the go-to buddy,
Yeah.
right? Who I don't have those people anymore, right? I don't have, and I haven't met that person in Memphis. Granted,
COVID.
part of the reason is because we got here and then I was focusing on, doing this commute and working at AutoZone, and then COVID happened. So we can't really get out and meet people, right?
No.
But
Don't do that.
I had what I considered a pretty close friend for a while in Nashville. I had a close friend in Cottonwood. I had a close friend in Sedona.
Yeah.
I had a close friend. I guess I didn't really have one in Oregon, did I?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think it's because in Oregon,
You were working from home and stuff too.
well, in the beginning, we didn't have a car and we were riding the bus and
Yeah.
we were kind of struggle busing. And then I got the job at Les Schwab.
Oh yeah.
I guess I was kind of close with one of the guys there, but not really. It's not like we hung out, right?
Yeah.
But then I started trying to do the internet thing.
Yeah. Working.
And then all of my time was 100% dedicated
Yep.
to just doing that,
Mm-hmm.
right? I had no relationships
Yeah.
outside of us,
You had laser focus to get out of
out of what I was in. Yeah.
9 to 5s and
Yep. And yet, joke's on me, still into the 9 to 5s. Just a different kind.
yeah.
But I don't smell like gear oil anymore, and I'm not constantly sore. So,
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, I am sore sometimes, but not constantly. And I guess I didn't have a close friend in Idaho either, but that's because we we live like 30 minutes from the Canadian border in the bumfuck town of a dumb fuck. What is it? How's that phrase go?
I forget what movie it's from. What movie is it from?
Oh, I don't remember.
It's from some hockey.
It's from some hockey movie.
Some hockey movie, and they're in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
kind of a town, and he goes, "What in the bumfuck bum? What? How's it go? What in the? I don't know. It's something.
We'll
It's
put it in the show notes.
it's something. What in the bumfuck ass of a what? I don't remember now.
Okay. I'll find the clip. I'll find a YouTube clip and link it.
Very funny. I used to say it all the time, but now I can't remember it.
Yeah, you used to say it constantly when we lived up there. But yeah, like our next door neighbor was like miles away.
Yeah.
And we had to go all the way down to Sandpoint or Coeur d'Alene to go shopping.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty out there. So let's talk about your life lesson.
Okay. I thought I had it written down, but I don't.
You didn't write it down.
I thought I did. All right. So mine's more like a normal, regular life rule. Drink water. Drink half of your body weight in ounces of water. Just drink water. Stop drinking other things. Don't
not
drink.
entirely.
Well,
right?
no, but like
I drink tea.
tea's very good for you.
I used to drink a lot of soda.
Yeah, not good for you.
Like I drank a lot of soda, but I stopped drinking soda.
Yeah.
And now like when I occasionally want to have a soda, like I'm like, oh, maybe I'll have a soda.
It's too much.
It's too sweet and it's too like in my nose, right? It's too harsh.
Yeah. Our bodies are mostly water. We have to drink mostly water.
Well, that is mostly what I drink.
Yeah.
I keep 32 ounces of ice cold water near me at all times, but I also like to have a tea every once in a while.
So that's my mom life rule.
Drink more water.
Yep.
It also helps you with a lot of things, right?
Mm-hmm. It keeps your brain wrinkly. It keeps your
they're all anecdotal, but yeah.
Your vascular system. It helps with your blood.
Yep.
It helps with your digestion and pooping, all sorts of stuff. So
I notice sometimes if I have a headache, it's just I need some water.
That's right.
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
The headache is like, it's almost like the first or second symptom of dehydration. You'll feel like your mouth is kind of dry, or your lips are chapped, or you're kind of flushed.
Is that dehydration or just thirst?
Just thirsty, that your body needs. Your body needs fluids.
Because dehydration is like a severe medical condition,
no, but
right?
it has varying levels of
I see what you're
dehydration.
saying. Yeah.
So I've had this whole list on my phone for quite a while, and I read them every once in a while, but they're called life rules. And number 3 is search for yourself by yourself. Don't allow others to create your path for you. It's your road and yours alone. Others might walk it with you, but nobody can walk it for you.
Oh, that's so weird because I just noticed another one on this Reddit thread that says, the world doesn't wait for you to be okay. You just got to learn to pick yourself up and get better, which is basically the same thing, right?
Yeah.
You have to, at the end of the day,
Yeah. You got it.
you can have a support system. You can have people who are helping you, right? Or rooting for you.
Or give you advice.
Right. But at the end of the day, you have to do the stuff to get through the day and to, increase your goals and success.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else can do that thing for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like if you want to lose weight, you can have people saying, "Oh yeah, go, 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 work out, work out, work out. Oh, don't eat so much. Let me help you with meal planning and portion control." But at the end of the day, if you're not doing all of those things,
Yeah.
and people are rooting for you, you're going to fail, right? You're not going to succeed at that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It should be yours to walk alone. It should be your path.
I don't like that. I don't like
No, but I
walking
mean,
alone.
You know, some people's paths interconnect, right? They connect with
Yeah.
other people. And so you might have a side-by-side path,
Right.
right? But everyone has their own little,
Right. Okay. So we're like next to each other on paths, but they're still our individual paths.
yeah.
What happens if your path veers away from my path?
Well, then I hope it comes back.
Oh,
I don't know.
I hope it comes back
It
too.
won't veer away.
I hope it comes
It'll
back
just be
too.
bumpier or rockier or something.
I guess.
What are some, do you have any?
I did, but they were actually covered by Reddit. I was going to say
Oh,
the thing
no.
about coworkers.
Yeah.
You know, I've always had a problem with, like, I'm not a friend collector.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want 1,000 friends. Like, I keep, all my social media is pretty lean. Who can even handle 1,000 friends? Like, what? That's not 1,000 friends.
Yeah.
Like, I have 180 friends on Facebook, and I don't know that they're all friends, right? They're mostly acquaintances,
Yeah.
right? Like, if I called them up, would they help me? Would they come pick me up if I was stranded? That's a friend. Would they help me move?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still like them. I still want, to be involved even superficially in their lives,
Yeah.
But it took me a long time to understand that, like, your coworkers just aren't your friends, right? Because I've been backstabbed and screwed over by many a coworker.
Mm-hmm.
And not because they're like, ah, ha, ha, I'm the evil antagonist in your story, but more like, I don't fucking care about you. I care about me and this ladder that I need to climb,
Yeah.
right? So sorry about your fingers.
Yeah. Which can be harsh.
It's very harsh. It's very devastating if you're going along and you're like, oh, we're mutual friends. Blah, blah, blah. We're friends.
He won't do that to me.
And they care about me and the way that I care about them. And then it's not true. And it just hurts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've had to try to distance myself, right? Also, I think a part of that is like loyalty to whatever company you're working for, right?
Yeah.
Like my last job, I had an immense amount of loyalty to that business, which was the wrong way to go about it, right? I should have had loyalty to myself and the product I was building and my team,
Yeah.
but not the business, right? Because in the end, the business didn't give a shit about me,
Right.
right? The business was like, fuck you, get out of here. But I do still look back on that stuff that we built, and I'm really proud of what we built.
Yeah.
I'm proud of the work we did, and I think we did good work. It just wasn't in the cards for that to be a successful endeavor overall, right?
Yeah.
So with AutoZone, I'm just being more cautious about blindly being loyal,
Yeah.
right? I'm not like, hey, other companies, here's trade secrets. Like that, I would never do that, right? I'm not that kind of a person, but I'm also not going to be like, if another opportunity comes along, right?
Right.
Because I was turning down opportunities the whole time I was at Ellis Lab because I was loyal to Ellis
Yeah.
Lab and I wanted to be a loyal employee.
And you thought they'd be loyal back when
Right.
push came to shove.
Yeah. But that's not the case. And
Yeah.
so then, I don't have anything on the books right now, but I'm not going to blindly push away potential opportunities out of job loyalty, right?
Yeah.
And, maybe that's swinging the pendulum too far in the other direction.
Yeah. But if it is, then, you just kind of monitor that and, look at it and
Live and learn.
yeah. I guess that's what this whole life is all about for everyone. It's just we're all kind of
Yeah.
doing it somehow, and we should share, lessons and here's
Yeah.
what I've learned and here's maybe what to stay away from and here's what to it's all like we're we should be parenting each other a little bit.
Well, that's kind of all that mentoring is, right? Like
Yeah.
I've been mentoring those students, and really all that is just me saying, oh yeah, I've been there. Oh, I've done that before.
Yeah.
Let me tell you my experience about it. Maybe that'll help you.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, oh, I've done that a bunch of times. Here's some pitfalls.
Yeah.
Here's some ways to like make this effort less, right? Or like, here's a way to speed up how to make drop shadows or something, just
Yeah.
small things too. Like,
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is, I guess it kind of is parenting in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
But,
kind of
you
weird,
know,
but yeah, it is
it's-
kind of the same kind of behaviors
Yeah,
and conversations.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not like, I understand what
I'm
you're
not like, oh, my students are my daughters. Like it's
no,
yeah.
but it's the same type of like, mentoring. Parenting is mentoring and being friends is mentoring. You're
well-
hearing them, you're listening to them, and you're,
For the first 10 years, parenting is stop it. Don't. You're going to burn yourself. No, you're going to cut yourself. Stop. What are you doing? Please, will you please just lay down? It's time for bed. And then after that, it starts to become mentoring.
Oh my gosh.
After that, it starts to become mentoring.
I'm getting too old for this shit, Riggs.
Oh, man. Yeah. Gosh darn it. That's a good movie. Is it though?
No, it's not. It's terrible.
Yeah. I remember I remember liking it when I was a kid, but I think back on it now. I think back on a lot of movies now from when I was a kid and go, I don't know if was that good?
Yeah. Nah, it needs to stay there.
But that happens with all kinds of media, right?
It happens with all kinds of things too.
Yeah. Oh, here's a good life lesson. You can't hide from yourself in your things,
Oh yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. I think I tend to do that, right? Like I got a lot of board games here, right? But I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, okay, this is stupid. I'm covering something. I'm hiding in this pile of cardboard, wood, and paper, right? I don't know what I'm hiding. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I look and I recognize, whoops, now I got to course correct, right?
Yeah.
And that's happened to me over the years, right? Like with music collection, with movie collection. It's like, oh shit, now we have an entire hallway wall of DVDs.
Yeah.
And not your standard little 8-foot wall. I'm talking about a 24-foot long wall, end to end DVDs. Right? It's just, why? What am I doing there? And now I've done that with board games. Like I'm at a point now where, what I think it is that a lot of the stress of the last 2 years I've taken out on the board game collection, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
That makes sense.
oh, this makes me feel good. This comforts me. I must now have this.
Yeah.
Not, oh, I want to play this, or this is going to be fun to play with my wife or my kids. Just, I want to own this
Yeah.
because I like the miniatures, or I like the color of the wood pieces, or whatever it is.
Well, that's a normal thing that people do.
Yeah, but I take it to extremes because I'm a man of extremes.
Yeah.
It's like long hair and a long beard, or shaved completely bald. There's no in between for me,
Yeah.
right? Like the only time there's an in between is when I'm growing it out,
Yeah.
right? I'm just a man of extremes. But I've put together a spreadsheet
Uh-oh.
of the game collection, which I then now have to cross-reference with the actual physical things that are here, right? Because I have a catalog of the game collection, but I've noticed like there was a couple things I didn't add, and then there's things that I forgot to take off. So I have to go through the physical, like each box, and go, okay, this is on the list. Good, we're good. This is on the list. We're good, right? Mm-hmm. And then if I find something that's on the list but it's not here, then I need to take it off the list, right? Because it don't actually own it.
Right.
And then once I get that step completed, I need to make 2 other lists. One list is games that I could just throw out the window and not think twice about.
Oh boy.
And then the other one is games I don't ever want to get rid of that I feel like should be in a collection of any games. If you're going to have a board game collection, this game should be in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then take those two lists and try to whittle this collection down so that I don't have any games stacked on top of the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
And so that I have at least one of the shelves completely empty of games.
Holy moly.
Also this table.
Goodness.
Because it's
What's your
just
time frame?
I'm giving myself until the end of 2021 to get it done.
Yeah.
Because it's a big job.
So it's going to be like your New Year's resolution?
No, I'm just going to start now.
Oh.
But there's 1,000 items
Oh.
on that spreadsheet, right?
What?
Yeah. Well,
My
there's not
goodness.
1,000 games in here.
Right. Okay. I get what you're saying.
But the spreadsheet also has any expansions or promo cards for certain games, right?
Oh,
so like
okay.
Ascension, I have like 21 promo cards. So that's 21 items right there.
Okay. Okay. That makes more sense.
Right. And then like, there are games that have like a lot of expansions. So like the God tier,
Uh-huh.
that's one game,
But it's got all of those.
but it's 10 expansions and 2 starter sets.
I
So
see.
it's 12 items,
Yeah.
right, on the list. So I have to go through and do that. That's my next goal. And then also like just decide, like I've already kind of started that, right? The shelf behind you, like Terra Mystica, Age of Steam, Trajan, Root, Through the Ages, Hansa Teutonica, those games aren't going anywhere. Those are
Right.
evergreen games that should be in my collection,
Mm-hmm.
right? And almost the majority, I'd say, of the shelf beneath those games are not going anywhere either. I mean, there's some that are definitely going to go somewhere, but that shelf I was grabbing my favorite games when we were unpacking, and they all were putting them into there.
Yeah.
And as we go along the shelf, less and less likely to stay in the collection, right?
Yeah.
But then there's also games that unfortunately take up a lot of room, like the gift series of abstract games, but I'm never going to get rid of those games.
Mm-hmm. But then, while you're going through these,
Right.
think about why you get them and why you does it just keep your mind busy with all the things that, comes with it, and
Yeah. I mean, some of it's that, I mean, some
make it
games-
work for you, make it like a therapeutic type
Yeah.
of exercise.
Yeah, I agree. But there's also games I own that no one will play with me, but I can't get rid of them. Like Trois.
Yeah.
Like I love that game so much.
I don't know why.
But nobody will play it with me. But I can't get rid of it. I cannot.
Yeah.
And the reason nobody will play with me is because it involves division.
And
In your head division. But
and-
who cares? Learn it.
And their opponent is slightly aggressive about the quickness of the division. And you were playing with children, so maybe
right.
you should revisit it once in a while, one of these days.
Well, I wish you would
It's-
revisit it with me because I think that
I've played it
I know,
a couple times.
but revisit it with me.
Oh man, alive.
It's I don't know what it is about it, but there's just
It keeps your brain busy so you don't think about sad stuff.
no, okay, but that's all board games. But this particular board game, there's some sort of, and this is a really cliche word to use with board game design, but there's some elegance to the way that the systems work, right? That are different than other board games of the same type.
Yeah.
And there's just this kind of like almost perfection of that game, right?
Yeah. I've never heard it described like that before.
Right. I know that like you don't see the games that way, right? You don't look at games and go, "Oh my God, I can't believe how this system came together to make such an elegant playing thing." But I notice things like just little touches like, "Oh, this game is 5 rounds long, but there are only exactly enough cards to last us 5 rounds." Right? The card deck is also a timer.
Right.
It's like this integrated timer, right? And that's a kind of a bad example. There's other examples like, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there are good examples of like how those things are get integrated. I think that's why I like Stefan Feld games so much, is because he's a math professor, right? Is his day job.
Yeah.
So his games tend to be a little mathy points wise and a little dry theme wise.
Is that what Trois is a Stefan Feld?
No, Trois is a Xavier George's game, who he made Carson City as well.
Oh.
Also, there's 2 other designers. I can't remember their names right now. I don't want to like give him all that credit. It's a three designer team. I'll put it in the show notes. But he's one of those kind of designers that's like that, right? Who makes elegant systems. But that's why I like SFFL games so much, is because I am appreciating the system and the design of the game, not the theme, right? The theme doesn't mean anything unless you're playing like a miniatures game, right? Because all games are abstractions of something. The theme is just there to help people like, oh, okay, I can get into this because I'm running a bus route and I've got to pick up passengers.
Yeah.
Right? I'm running a train company and I have to build my route across the United States.
Right.
Right? That's the theme. But really, all you're doing is putting discs on hexagons.
Yeah.
It's an abstract, right? I think that's why I like these GIF games, is because they don't have any pomp or circumstance to them, but they're gorgeous, elegant design systems.
It's fascinating that your brain works that way. It really is, because I get stuck on, this is a dumb theme. I don't want to build a quilt.
Oh yeah. No, you have done that before.
It's so dumb. Like I get stuck on.
I'm like, I have a game about making dresses, and you're like, ugh, gross.
Like, why? Why would you make a game about dresses? Be like, no, you can do this and that. And I'm like, no, it's making a dress.
Well, I think that's what was appealing to me about that particular game, was that it was not a theme that's often used, right? Like medieval farming and shipping are heavily used themes, zombies.
Yeah.
But making a dress?
I know, but your brain sees like all those little beautiful things about it, which I love.
Little details and stuff. Yeah. All right, we're getting too far into games now. We were talking about life lessons.
This is not a gaming episode, sir.
Yeah. We're going to do an episode about board games.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
We'll make it happen. All
right. Well, I think that's all I have on life lessons. Do you have any other life lessons?
No.
All right. Well, I love you.
I love you too.
The Lou and Me podcast is a Matthias Soares production. The song is No Carpets by the New Forevers. Produced and edited by Moose. Hosted by Lou and me.
Thanks for listening.